Climbing back to the top of Mount Soapbox for another rant on a Sunday. It's feeling like old school rants, back when I used to rant on Sundays. Do you remember? I remember. Anyways, it's just the way it works. No, we're not bringing back rants on a weekly basis. Like I said before, if there's something that comes up that I want to rant about, I'm going to rant about it. You may get one rant every few weeks. You may get 2 rants a week. It just really depends. All right, so a few days ago, Rockstar dripped out its latest vehicle for us to purchase in Grand Theft Auto Online, the Schyster Deviant muscle car. We checked it out via live stream Thursday. So for $512,000 in Grand Theft Auto Online, this muscle car can be yours, available at Legendary. First off, I really feel like that the Deviant should be over on the Southern San Andreas site as opposed to Legendary, but I digress. So the way that they have billed and promoted the Deviant is it's supposed to be some sort of awesome, badass muscle car. In fact, in the promo, it says a genetically engineered monster, which implies it's a badass. I mean, the image here that they posted gives us the feeling and the vibe that this is going to be a high-performance, top-speed type muscle car. You could also get that vibe off its section on Legendary. Deviant, it wasn't as beautifully proportioned as the Sabre or as fast as the Dominator, but that didn't matter. In the 70s, the real connoisseur of muscle were all about the Deviant. Well, now, the Dark Horse is all grown up, and thanks to Team Schyster's groundbreaking remodeling, this tricked-out, wild-eyed stallion is all set to put a hoof through your skull at the first opportunity. So yes, it obviously looks like a high-performance muscle car. However, despite its looks, the Deviant is sadly all bark and no bite when it comes to races. Now, $500,000 for a vehicle in Grand Theft Auto Online these days seems pretty reasonable. For the longest time, one of the best supercars in Grand Theft Auto Online, the Zantorno, is $700,000. So yeah, okay, $500,000 really isn't that much. But one of the best muscle cars performance-wise and racing-wise happens to be the Pisswasser Dominator, which costs less than the Deviant for $315,000, are free for the OG Grand Theft Auto Online players from last gen that transfer their characters over from last gen to current gen and PC. We got it for free, which is $512,000 cheaper for a muscle car that does way better in races. Yes, the Deviant has way more customization than the Pisswasser Dominator, but the look, the feel, the vibe of the Deviant, when you see it, it just screams, I want to race. I'm a badass, top-tier muscle car. But as I learned in Thursday's live stream, that is most definitely not the case. For one thing, it doesn't even feel as fast as the top-tier muscle cars, and it's compounded by the fact that it has bad traction and terrible brakes. So whenever you're going around, a street, doing a street race around a corner, it easily spins out. It spinned out on me several times on Thursday, and when you're trying to slow down or when you have to stop, the Deviant doesn't exactly stop on a dime. I guess this is one heavy-ass muscle car in Grand Theft Auto Online. So it spins, it doesn't exactly go around corners too well, at least from my experience. And like I said, the Deviant doesn't know how to stop. To be honest, this really doesn't stop or start with the Deviant. It goes back nearly a year to the introduction of the handling flags, the vehicles that were in that, courtesy of the Southern San Andreas Super Sports Series. Yeah, I know that was a long-ass update, name-wise. And then, of course, After Hours and most recently Arena Wars have had vehicles with these handling flags. And Bruffy even has a petition out there, change.org, He made a YouTube video about it. If you haven't already had a chance, check out the video. If you agree with Bruffy, feel free and email Rockstar and do your part to help get the petition to the devs at Rockstar, so maybe they might actually do something about the handling flags. By the way, I'm going to link the video as well as this petition below in the description section, because this all ties in together. Remove the STR advanced flags handling line from 36 cars in Grand Theft Auto Online. Now, I'm not going to read over this entire piece that Bruffy wrote out brilliantly, I might add. Feel free to do so yourself. But we will go over the cars affected along with the Deviant when it comes to these handling flags. And like I said, it started nearly a year ago with the vehicles in the Southern San Andreas Super Sport Series. The IC Classic, the Dominator GTX, which is an absolutely beautiful muscle car. Similar to the Deviant, it looks like a top-tier, high-performance muscle car, and you get the feel and vibe that it would do well in races, but sadly it did not. The same thing applies to the Ellie, you know, the old-school muscle car. It also has that feel that it deserves to do much better racing and going around laps and top speed than it does. It's another disappointment. Then, of course, the Cara, Flash GT, GB200, along with the Hot Ring Saber, the Chubarik. Well, the Chubarik, I don't think the handling flags can help that, or some of these other vehicles, but like the Michelli GT, Entity XXR, Taipan, Tesseract, Tyrant, moving over to After Hours, the Jester Classic, as well as the Swinger, most recently with the Arena War. I would say the Deviant, as we mentioned, the Impaler, along with the Imperator, the ZR380, Devastate 8, the Toros SUV, and of course the Italy GTO, which, to be honest, I really should have done a rant on, because even though it's an absolutely beautiful car, it also suffers tremendously from these handling flags, and it basically flies all over the place. So does the Toros to a lesser degree. In my experience, you can control the Toros a lot easier than the Italy GTO. The Italy GTO should be up there in the sports category, capable of competing with the Pariah. And if you're a really good driver, you might be able to do so. Now, when it comes to the Tulip, nobody expected the Tulip to be a high-performance muscle car. It's just the way it goes. I mean, yeah, it's a muscle car. It's a four-door 70s muscle car. It's a cool-looking car, you know. It has a nice 70s feel and look to it. But most of us weren't even remotely considering it as something that could go up against the top-tier muscle cars. The same thing with the Click, but the Click surprisingly does better in races than the Deviant, which looks like it should be a top-tier, high-performance, badass muscle car. It has the look, but thanks to the handling flags that are plaguing over 30 vehicles in Grand Theft Auto Online, sadly, the Deviant leaves a lot to be desired.